everyone. Today we're going to talk about how addition and multiplication are alike, how they're related to one another. How they're related to one another. We're going to be thinking about how is multiplication like addition and how is it different. So today we're going to be drawing equal groups, which is what we did yesterday as well, but we're also going to be using repeated addition to solve a multiplication story. Now, I always like to repeat myself there. Multiplication is repeated addition. So you have to have equal groups. You have to be able to add the same number over and over again. Okay? So let's read the word problem and unlock the problem, and then talk a little bit about how addition and multiplication are alike. Tamika needs 3 apples to make 1 loaf of apple bread. Each loaf has the same number of apples. How many apples does Tamika need to make 4 loaves? Let's unlock the problem in our little blue box here. How many loaves is Tamika making? So Tamika needs 3 apples to make 1 loaf of apple bread. Each loaf has the same number of apples. How many apples does Tamika need to make 4 loaves? So she's making 4 loaves of bread. Okay, so we go right back into the problem to find the answer to the question. The second question is, how many apples are in each loaf? Tamika needs 3 apples to make 1 loaf of apple bread. So we're pulling information right from the word problem, just like we pull information right from stories in reading. Then it asks, how can you solve the problem? Well, we can add 3 4 times because we're going to use repeated addition. Add 3 4 times. It's like skip counting by 3s as well. Okay, so now let's take a look at how we can draw equal groups to help us use repeated addition. So there's 4 loaves of bread. We have 4 circles to show our 4 equal groups. Our equal groups are our loaves. Then in each of our equal groups, we need to represent those apples that need to be in the loaf of bread to be able to make it. So for Tamika, there's 3 apples in each loaf. So we're going to draw 3 counters in each of our circles. So we have 4 equal groups, 3 counters in each group. What do our equal groups represent? The 4 loaves of bread that are being baked. And what do our 3 counters in each group represent? The 3 apples needed to make 1 loaf of bread. Okay, so when we combine equal groups, you can multiply to find how many in all. When we multiply, we can also use repeated addition to help us solve. So I'm going to show you what both of those look like for this problem. Now, we've got 4 groups, 3 counters in each group. So we need to add 3 4 times. So what I would do on my own paper, and what the book does for you, is make 4 lines to show that's what I'm adding. So I would make 4 lines with 3 plus signs in between, just like the book did here. And what are we adding? What are we adding repeatedly? We're adding 3. So we have to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. So our multiplication sentence that you can also write for this problem would be 4 times 3. This X stands for groups of. I always think of the multiplication symbol as saying groups of. 4 groups of 3. 4 loaves of 3 apples. Okay, so now we need to do our addition sentence to find the answer to our problem. 3 plus 3 more is 9. Plus 3 more is 12. Plus 3 more, I'm sorry, I've made a mistake again. My apologies. 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. I got ahead of myself there. So we're adding 3 4 times. 3 plus 3 is 6. Plus 3 is 9. Plus 3 is 12. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 12, which also means 4 times 3 equals 12. I've added 3 4 times. So Tamika needs 12 apples to make 4 loaves of bread. Okay, so we drew a picture to help us solve. We knew we needed 3 counters in each group. We knew we needed 4 equal groups based on the information in our word problem. On the next page, we have some vocabulary words that we need to know for lesson 3.2. The first vocabulary word is multiply. When you combine equal groups, you can multiply to find how many in all. So using the same word problem, Tamika's making 4 loaves of bread and needs 3 apples for each loaf. We can continue to make 4 equal groups of 3. So we can fill these counters in. So there's 4 groups, 3 in each group, 4 loaves of bread, 3 apples for each loaf. Since there are the same number of counters in each circle, you can multiply to find how many in all, because remember, you need equal groups to multiply. You read this as 4 times 3 equals 12. You can write a multiplication sentence horizontally, or you can write it vertically. The numbers that you multiply together are the factors in a multiplication sentence, and the answer in our multiplication problem is a product. Okay, so when you multiply, you combine equal groups to find an answer or to find how many in all. Factors are the 2 numbers being multiplied together, and the product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Now go back into your slides and complete the assignments using your text or your workbook to help you.